Good morning, everybody. How's it going? If I was an official YouTube channel, one of the things that would make me an official YouTube channel is if anybody was like a paid subscriber or member, I would be like, good morning, and then maybe list some names, and then and everybody. Because that seems to be a customer service type, an additional something that you can do as a YouTuber to I hate to say enhance the audience experience, but I think technically that's what it does. Anyway, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? It rained a bit yesterday and last night here in San Antonio, Texas. Got some very minor debris to include over there. So, you saying, I mean, I know you're probably not saying, but I know there might be some people saying, I see it's organic seed. Why don't you just put in the organics? It's a good question. You see the stick right here? Yeah, here. The stick. I'll put it in there organics. How's that sound? Oh, because the organics is already full. That's why. So anyway, good morning, happy Wednesday, another day, another dollar. Good morning, everybody. If you notice, I don't have my necklaces on, but don't worry. I have $14. My mom started giving me $20 for cleaning the house. So I have $14. I spent, what did I get? I think maybe I got a Starbucks caramel macchiato, which is an espresso but with milk. I got it iced. And I think the macchiato, there's like chocolate inherent in it, but I don't know. Something like that. Maybe I can get a shirt. This is all different kinds of coffee. And then I bought those my sweatpants from Walmart. I had a word gym last night. I guess I'll go ahead and tell y'all. I have a few political points to make, but you know, it's not like I don't know, a very big deal, but maybe it is a big deal. I don't want to say it's not a very big deal, but like I don't know. I know when you can get into politics and debate, intellectual debate, which is inherent in politics, you would assume, right? If there's questions you can and cannot ask, I would question the validity of, is this discourse intellectual debate? But I digress. But yeah, there seems to be this kind of like hype man kind of stuff. And I think especially in Washington, and you know, me being here for what, 4.5 years, and then I say 8 years before then, just because that's when I try to calculate it. If I, you know, if I scroll through my Instagram, I try to remember when did I post this? What was I thinking when I posted this? But I think it was around 8 years, and I was like, am I getting filmed? Is what's happening here? It's kind of a whiff, a spidey sense, if you will. But yeah, there seems to be this kind of hype man kind of situation that I've seen, and me being in this situation for like 4.5 years, and then just kind of like on alert, just kind of like a bit um, skewed from the normal, I guess you can say. I'm gonna find ways to talk about all this when I write a book, okay? Don't worry. That I've been trying to avoid. It happens a lot. This hype, I call it hype man type situation, is kind of getting carried away with a political talking point and being correct or incorrect. It's something that, again, it's been 4.5 years, something that I can kind of see and kind of place. And, I just kind of want to avoid that. But nonetheless, I do have some talking points to say, but I'll do a little chit chat first. I guess kind of like my tarot card, kind of same format as my tarot card videos. A little chit chat first. I don't know, because I feel like that's normal. That's if you're a normal person going throughout your normal life. I feel like that would probably be the format of things. But I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. 1 second. Okay. So I guess I'll start with my dream since I don't mind talking about it. If you're wondering, I'm looking over this. By now, you're probably used to. I just look around. I know there's like these fences and everything, but the east is that way. And if you're wondering, that house is still for sale. Hasn't been sold yet. The east is that way. And so you got the morning light over here. It's kind of hard to tell with like the lighting in the camera, but it's just kind of got this like yellow kind of glow that's not as harsh as that. So, just looking at things, looking at nature, earthing, but with sight. Anyway, yeah, I had a weird dream. I was in a place that I had never been before. I didn't recognize at all. So I wonder what that means. It was this house, and there's like this desk area, and there was a computer, and it was like in a hutch, I think. This computer, it wasn't just like an open desk, as some desks are. Was a desk, but like a hutch. And anyway, I guess these are just minor details, but I think it's interesting, like what are dreams? What is your brain doing? Why have these details when you dream, right? But anyway, so there's a computer, it was at a hutch, and then there was a cat. I think it was like a brown and black cat, and I think yellow eyes, and kind of like a kitten cat, maybe like one or two, and jumped up on the desk, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a photo. I need to get. I had my phone. All of a sudden, jumped up on the desk. I was happy to see the cat, and then I was like, oh, I have my phone. Oh my gosh, I need to get my phone so I can take a photo of this cat next to the computer. But I also need to pull up the picture of the cat on the computer. So my goal at this desk, that was a hutch, and it was a desktop computer. I said, I need to pull up. I know I have a photo of this cat on my computer. I need to pull it up and then take a photo with my phone of this cat next to the picture of this cat in the computer. I don't know. And then, and if you're wondering, my childhood bedroom at the 10415 Ethan Allen house had wallpaper on it, and it was cats. Usually when you have wallpaper, it's kind of like the trendy thing now to have like a bold kind of a design on the wallpaper. But what used to be I guess in the 90s, what used to be the trend with wallpaper is you had this wallpaper and then you have like this like running thing. I think if you're setting a table, it's called like a runner in the middle of the table. But we chose cats. We never got it redone. So I was thinking about this cat. My childhood bedroom wallpaper, like cats all around the room. My sister Kimi, she got horses all around the room. So anyway, there was that. I had to take a photo of the cat in the computer. Live cat, picture of the cat, a photo of a and real cat in a house. I have no idea whose it was, where desk it was, or why I even knew there was a photo of that cat in the computer. And then there was like a lake, and then all of a sudden a cut scene, different dream. There was a lake and there was like this dock in the middle of it, and I guess it was like a lower kind of lake, and so I was like looking down and people were like walking on the docks, and somehow I got down even level with the dock and the water, except I was on the wrong side. I wasn't on the side where you can just walk on the dock in the middle of the lake. So you know what I did? I just jumped in. So I need to get to the dock, so I jumped into the water, and then somebody was upset about it. There was people there, and I wasn't upset about it. It turns out I was in my t-shirt and sweatpants when I decided to jump in, and somebody like here I am swimming, like pretending me swimming, and then somebody on this side was upset about it. And now that I have my phone up here, I'm wondering again what my brain is doing. But yeah, here I am. Right here's my view. I'm in the lake, and then there's like a dock where I swim up to the dock. But somebody over here, was upset about it, and I don't know who it was. I think I was supposed to know who it was. I think at the time, when I was swimming, I really didn't know who it was, but I think that it was cut scene, and then I don't know, what is it, cycle 4, or no, you dream in REM sleep, right? And then you wake up. I don't know. So yeah, and then I didn't want to get out of the dock, and then I got somebody handed me my banana towel. I have this towel with bananas on it. Thank you. That was my dream. Anyway, I'll take another sip of coffee. 1 second. Okay, and then I guess one more thing I want to talk about before I start talking about my political talking points, even though, you know, they're not hype man talking points. It's been a good week so far. Monday, my mom was like, she needs to get a pedicure, and for some reason I was just like, well, I have $10. Can I get a pedicure? If I give you $10, can you pay for the rest? And she said, sure. And then when we get in the car on the way, she said, you know, you save your money, spend that somewhere else, I'll just pay for the pedicure. I was like, thanks, Mom. So I went and I got a pedicure. Got one foot black and the other foot white. With my mom, she got coral or something, Cajun shrimp, I don't know, some sort of like red orange kind of color, some sort of red orange color, but ends up being like kind of a pink, but not pink. Anyway, and then we went to Stone and there we went to Target, and I got some pants. So I got new pants. They're cow print. I posted them on my Instagram, and new cow print pants and a pedicure. Then yesterday I stayed at Kimi's, and it was okay for the most part. And she had an extra TV, so I said, I'll just if you're since you're offering, yeah, I'll take the TV. So my mom has group lunch today, and after the group lunch, she's gonna go by Spectrum and pick up a box, which comes with the remote. So I'm gonna be able to have the streaming, Netflix, Hulu. We have Disney Plus, and also cable. So I'm gonna be watching cable news the entire time. But with that being said, we were at In-N-Out on Monday, and then Tracy showed us an article that said MSNBC is departing, separating from NBC, which I thought was interesting. We started bringing up, talking about like cable. What's NBC? Is it NBC like HBO, but it has also MSNBC? So I don't know if that's something you want to talk about, look into. Topic of discussion. So yeah, there's the courts in front of my sister Kimi's house at 642 Sumner Road. So there's that. I'm wondering if they're gonna be there if I'm still here, like this, right? Where everybody else seems to have a job except me, which puts me on the low end of the totem pole, obviously, and have to end up being here for September. It was a female, in case you're wondering, of which again I'm not surprised about. So if I have to be here for the end of August, all of September, and then beginning of October, and if it's beginning of October, I just have a feeling they're really going to try to do that thing where they're just going to, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. So, but you know me, I'm always hopeful at any moment in time. It doesn't have to be this way. But yeah, so I'm wondering if those new cords are only seen in this neighborhood and on my jogging route. Good morning, Jizzy. Jizzy's up. How long those cords are going to be there, because cords that were here in this formerly known and ISD school bus route, and also my jogging route. My new jogging route, not the one that has Kip on it. They were there for quite a while, those cords. Some are even still there, but like the condition of them is just so ridiculous. They should just be removed. What are they even for? On Tioga, if you happen to be in the area, happen to be wondering, you care about your city. Just is looking at me through the little hole. It is 7:32 a.m. She walk away. So yeah, I'm wondering how long those cords are going to be there, and what they're for. They're right at the place where there was a kind of a flood, a flood, and they're in that exact spot because the flood started at Pansy Street, perpendicular to Sumner, and so right where the leak started, it's kind of a downhill. If you're going through Van Diver, I think that one's South Van Diver. So, oh no, I had a jogging route over there when I stayed there. I wonder if it's gonna get any cords. Anyway, so the infamous black cord is along the where the water leak was. So there's a saws truck. As far as saws here in this neighborhood, I haven't seen any indication of that. So yeah. I'm wondering if those courts are going to be there October 6th, the week of October 6th through 10th, and if that's going to be the time in which work is done for whatever those courts could possibly be. But other than that, today's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. How's it going? 20 minutes. I guess I'll start talking about my political talking points. The first was the Texas state representatives, Texas legislature. So I'm sure by now y'all know that they fled, the Democrats fled in resistance to redistricting of the congressional map, which some say is racist. I saw the map and it looked like the only Democrat part was Austin, San Antonio, and El Paso. That was the photo I think posted on Truth Social. But I'd be scrolling through Twitter a lot, and it might have been there, but it also might have been there. 47's post on Truth Social. I don't really look at anybody else's Truth Social. I was thinking about getting one because I know I told y'all I can't see it anymore, the website, but I can see it now. So I didn't end up making an account. I said I'm not going to use the account. I'm just going to make an account so I can view 47's, dare I say, my husband's profile. So, but didn't have to do that because then I could see it. That web page was available. I didn't need a user login to access that web page. So anyway, the Democrats fled. I know Governor Gavin Newsom of California has been very vocal about this redistricting and canceling the Democrat vote. I know it's been like a Twitter kind of stuff. I haven't really been looking at that either, but I've been seeing that it's been trending. They didn't go to California though, I don't think. The Texas state lawmakers who fled in defiance, non-compliance. Anyway, it turns out on Monday they were back. Some of them chose to stay overnight. So that's quite polar opposite there, isn't it? You left and then now you're back and you're gonna stay overnight. Okay. I think Rep. Jean Wu called it the good trouble hashtag. And then yesterday, Tuesday, in the evening, there was a social media post that was very threatening. Another female over there, in case you're wondering. And so they decided to close it down and evacuate the Texas state capitol, which is located in Austin. I feel like 99% sure. I think it's open today. Wednesday morning is the article that I saw on Twitter. The Alaskan summit, where 47 and the President Putin of Russia both traveled to Alaska, Anchorage, a place that I have been before, in case you're wondering, in case you didn't know. Me and my two sisters and mom, we went to Alaska. My dad at the time was incarcerated. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't feel any reason to. People know that. You may not know that, but some people know that. And I don't want them to think a certain type of something. So, why didn't she mention it? You know what I mean? So he was incarcerated at that time, otherwise he would have went with us. Instead, Liz Oglesby took his place since he could not attend go on the Alaskan cruise. But anyway, the Alaskan cruise, it was great. We had a really great time. It's a really great nature area. We got a little seasick, and we took Dramamine, and we were like falling asleep during dinner, and we had no idea that Dramamine makes you sleepy. But it was a bit of a smaller boat, and I guess, I don't know, we were a bit sensitive to the motion of the ocean. But we did see orcas. We have SeaWorld in San Antonio, Texas. You may have seen blackfish. I have not. But anyway, we saw, we were at the cruise ship. We were stopped by a glacier, and it actually gets kind of hot. Excuse me. Because the sun, one second. Anyway, it got kind of hot then, because the sun reflected off the glacier and off the water, and we were like parked, the cruise ship. But at one point in time we did see orcas, and they had their fins and they were completely straight. So if you know anything about SeaWorld or anything, what are they called? Orcas. In captivity, you know that their fins lean to one side. But these orcas that are in the wild in Alaska, they had their fins straight up. So, oh my god, and they're in a group. So anyway, I thought that was good. I thought that was successful, and I thought that was a great look. I thought it was very diplomatic. And yeah, I didn't see like I just saw like the 12 or 15 minute I guess after remarks of President Putin in 47. So if there's anything additional available to the discussions they had, I haven't researched it yet, but I plan to do that, especially since I'm going to be watching cable news now on the regular. And then it was announced after the summit that there's going to be talks with Zelensky in Washington, D.C., which happened this past Monday. There were other world leaders there, Western European leaders, and like a NATO representative, like Secretary General or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of photos. It was a big to-do. It's a big hoorah. So how many times has Zelensky been to Washington? Zelensky's been to Washington, D.C. more times than I have. Okay. And I guess, I can't remember, was he there like during the Biden administration? Wasn't he there like 2 or 3 times? And then he was there one other time, and is it this current administration? In the 45th administration, it was a phone call or something like that, which people were all up in arms about as far as impeachment goes. But I mean, they did that with almost everything during the 45th administration. If you don't remember, or maybe you're not aware, you weren't keeping up with politics, I don't know. I think by then a lot of people started to keep up with politics, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, apparently Zelensky thought it was appropriate to bring a letter to the First Lady, Melania, about the wife. And so he thought that was an appropriate time to do that, considering Melania sent a letter to President Putin. So Zelensky brought a letter from his wife to 47's wife. It was an appropriate time for that. But anyway, yeah, so I posted that link on congress.gov. If anybody had any questions about it, I Wikipedia'd it. It seemed like Ukraine has been, I don't want to say subsidiary, but I kind of like the business feel to that word. But maybe for now, maybe it hasn't always been that way, but Ukraine has always kind of had a partnership with Russia, kind of always, I don't know, had a relationship with Russia. That's what it said on Wikipedia, the vibe I got from what I skimmed on Wikipedia. So, I thought it was interesting how apparently learned in the Oval Office with all the reporters there and everything that there's no elections in Ukraine during wartime. So I know Zelensky was there during Obama. Was he? Now I'm kind of wondering if he was. Zelensky was there during the 45th, and if people didn't want him there after February 2022, that's too bad because it's wartime, and apparently in Ukraine there's no presidential elections during wartime. So, yeah. So yeah, and apparently there were like a lot of photos or something. I don't know. 1 second. Sorry about that. So yeah, there's a lot of photos. I know there was a table discussion. I didn't tune into that, but I'm gonna check it out. Plan to check it out today on the White House YouTube channel's live videos. So I'm gonna see what was discussed there. As far as optics, I guess Zelensky aside, as far as optics, it seems not bad for 47. I know in Caroline Levitt's press event yesterday, she commented about the treatment of 47 and especially from left-wing media. Some of the questions I think she didn't take seriously, in which she should have. I thought the questions were interesting. But yeah, from what I can see and what I've seen on Twitter, it was overall I don't know what the word is. It's just an overall stink bug. I don't know, I guess step towards the right direction. I think it's interesting how it's 46 wasn't there. That's another point I wanted to bring up is 45, 47, dare I say my husband, when he brings up the previous administration, I think it has a certain tone, which is very different than when maybe other people bring up the previous administration and their obvious what we could classify as security failures. As a general public. So when 47 says the war never would have happened if he were president, I think again a different tone and a different message than when somebody else might be saying and repeating that same rhetoric. It's just something I want to throw in there. Another thing I want to throw in there, I'm wondering if anybody's made any of the jokes where Ukraine's gotten trillions of dollars, but 47 is the one that has been shot at. Has Zelensky, he's been safe this whole time? because I know he's traveled quite a bit to Washington, D.C. since 2022. I know Ben Stiller took a photo with him. It might have been AI, what we now call AI. But yeah. So I just think it would, it's smart. It doesn't look bad, obviously. I think there's a lot of this, like a phone call where it seems like a lot of like social circle stuff going on, which I think slightly, slightly takes away from what's happening. But there was yesterday during the press conference, it was security guarantees, boots on the ground versus boots in the air, is where the White House press conference was left at yesterday. But yeah, obviously a lot involved, and a lot of money since 2022, not just in weapons. I think it's interesting. Caroline brought up NATO buying American weapons, and I'm just wondering, like, this might be a two-part video, interesting enough. So I guess Ukraine got weapons and the NATO got weapons. There's this talk about Article 5. I don't know. But yeah. Ukraine seems taken care of. So I guess I'm not too worried. I don't know. Is that insensitive to say, considering the children and all that? Obviously that's not good. But yeah, it just seems like a lot of like social, like, well, who's going to be there and all this stuff. And I'm just like, did you forget these are like grown folk? But anyway, can people not have discussions anymore? Oh my gosh. But anyway, this video is about to end, so it might not be a two-parter. I might just make another one a different day this week. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, I thought it was okay. I think it was a good look for 47. I think overall, as the situation, which seems to be quite global, of this, what used to be called the Ukraine war, now it's called the Ukraine-Russian war, I think is something that it signifies a bit of closure, and hopefully that. So this talk about boots on the ground and boots in the air, I think is very interesting. But yeah, peace through strength and all that. So I support my husband 100%. I think optically it overall it looks good for 47. I think it looks a little, I don't know, there's a lot of talk about who's phone calling who, when are they gonna meet. Are you taking this seriously? I'm glad you're taking this seriously. Great. But you know, you're the boss man, you the boss man. Anyway, that's the end of this video. So thanks for chit-chatting with me. Y'all have a good one. Happy Wednesday, another day, another dollar.